absolute cinema. South African football is a movie. It's chaotic. So, according to Super Journal Mazola, he reports that it's not over for Cape Town City. They've won a case at the SAFA arbitration for the PSL disciplinary committee to open up an investigation of player ineligibility. A win, it means they are restating them. That's what he says. And he says the player in question is Monde Mapambaniso, who made 26 appearances for Marumo Gallants last season. The guilty verdict means Gallants will be docked points in the games that is featured. So now, Magesi and other stakeholders that are interested, what does this mean possibly for the top 8? The top 8 kicks off this weekend, but does this affect those teams in the top 8 and outside of the top 8? Someone might drop out, someone might come in, because hypothetically in this situation, if this holds and Marumo Gallants are found guilty and they lose those points and the other teams gain those points, what would it look like? And now I've just done the research for you. Watch till the end. This is a movie. We will go team by team. We will start with number 5, TX Galaxy. Why? Orlando Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns, Stellenbosch, Chukukuna, they have too many points. They would not be affected. They are safe. So let's start with TX Galaxy. They finished in position 5 on 35 points. But they would gain 3 extra points versus Gallants because they lost 2-1. And they would gain an additional 2 points because they drew 1-1 versus Gallants. Monday played both those games. So in total, they get 5 additional points hypothetically, and they will finish on 40 points. They are safe, still in the top 8. Amazulu finished in position 6 on 35.2. They would gain 0 points as they won versus Gallants. They already have those points. But they will gain 3 points in the return leg where they lost 1-0 versus Gallants and Monday played that game. So in total, they gained 3 points and they finished on 38 points. They're still safe in the top 8. Polokwane City, they finished in position 7. They had 34 points. They would gain 2 additional points after they drew 0-0 versus Gallants. Monday played that game, or he was a sub. But they would also gain 0 because they did beat Gallants 1-0 in the return leg. So they already have those points. In total, they gain 2 additional points and their final points would be 36. This is where it gets interesting. Richards Bay and Kaizer Chiefs. We know Richards Bay finished on 33 points, Chiefs 32. Richards Bay finished in the last spot of the top 8. They would gain 0 points because they won 2-1 versus Gallants in the first game. But they would also gain 2 additional points as they drew 0-0 versus Gallants. So total gain for them is 2, and their final points would be 35. Magesi, what does this mean for Kaizer Chiefs? They finished in position 9. They had 32 points, but they would gain an additional 3 points compared to Richards Bay's 2 as they lost 2-1 versus Gallants. And in that game, Monday played. So they would also gain an additional 0 points because they also won the return leg 2-1. So in total, Chiefs will gain 3 additional points, but this means they will finish on 35 points. Same with Richards Bay. In this case, Chiefs and Richards Bay finished on the same goal difference. And actually, Richards Bay, unfortunately for Kaizer Chiefs, they have a better goal scoring ratio. Richards Bay scored 33 goals, while Chiefs scored 32. So actually, if it went down to goal difference, they have the same, but Richards Bay would still be on top of Chiefs because they have a better goal scoring record. And we're assuming that, for example, if we say, Gallants forfeit those games and the beneficiaries win 2-0 for simplicity's sake, there would have to be consistency applied. So that means it's 2-0 victory granted to the beneficiaries for all teams, which would still make Richards Bay better in their goal scoring ratio than Kaizer Chiefs. So unfortunately, Magesi, you still wouldn't make top 8 in that hypothetical situation. But hold on, we have other stakeholders in this. Gallants themselves finished 10th. So we go to 11, Chipa United. They finished on 31 points, but they drew twice with Gallants. They would gain 0 additional points in those games because Monday didn't play. They don't get affected at all. Arrows finished in position 12. They drew once, and also won 2-0. But for the draw, they would get 0 additional points. Monday didn't play. And obviously they have the win in the other game. They would not be affected. We go all the way to position 13. The South African Premier Soccer League is a movie. Magesi in position 13. They had 31 points. Magesi have 31 points. They drew 1-1 versus Gallants. They would gain an additional 2 points. They also lost 3-1 versus Gallants. They would gain an additional 3 points. In total, they will gain an additional 5 points. Monday was a sub in both those games. Magesi started off in position 13 on 31 points when we started this conversation. If everything holds, hypothetically, they would finish on 36 points. They would jump Kaizer Chiefs and Richards Bay into the top 8. They would leapfrog them. Magesi are a serious stakeholder. They have a vested interest in this case. Whoever's running Magesi's admin, footballing club, sports director, they need to make sure they are investigating and pushing this matter to the fullest, as they could potentially have a case to be in the MTN 8 that kicks off this weekend. I don't know what they've been doing in this preseason. Are they resting players, are still on vacation, or they're training lightly? But they may have a game that they have to play this weekend. South African football is a movie. Let me know what you think. I am done. Please subscribe and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. I should say that it would be a different story if those games are treated like the Royal AM games and that they don't count. That would be a different story. I can do another video where we look at what would be the impact if those games were simply annulled, right? They were null and void. Then that may have a different effect to what I have just described. So maybe I'll do another video after this. But so far, it can look crazy.
Hi guys, this is Ikimele. I'm with KG Dato. Catch him on YouTube channel. We are football. Please, we are football channel. Sharp.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's match day.
Who will be there? Do you care though? Who will be there?